Insignia microwave model MW09BK0 repairs. Enjoy hot meals and snacks with this 0.9 cubic feet Insignia countertop microwave. The 6 automatic cooking options take the guesswork out of heating different dishes, and the defrost function adapts to the weight of food for efficient performance. This 900W Insignia countertop microwave has electronic controls and an LED panel for simple use. Repairs. For the home, kitchen and beyond, Insignia manufactures appliances that homeowners have come to trust. Even a trustworthy appliance requires occasional maintenance or repair, however. If you're in need of Insignia appliance repair from experienced professionals, your local appliance helper can help. Microwave not heating. Most microwaves have 3 or 4 door switches. When the microwave door closes, the door switches actuate in sequence to ensure that the door is closed properly. If any of the door switches fails, the microwave will not start or heat. To determine if any of the door switches are defective, use a multimeter to test each of the switches for continuity. If any of the door switches does not have continuity, replace it. The magnetron uses high voltage, high current DC power to generate the microwave frequency that cooks the food. If the magnetron burns out, the microwave won't heat. The magnetron is not repairable. If the magnetron is burned out, you must replace it. Warning: the microwave oven can store a lethal amount of electricity in its high voltage capacitor, even after the microwave oven has been unplugged. Due to the high running voltage and the potential for electric shock, it is extremely dangerous to replace the electronic components in a microwave. Only a licensed technician should replace the magnetron. Microwave not working. The main control board might be defective. However, this is rarely the case. Control boards are often misdiagnosed. Check all of the more commonly defective parts. If you have determined that all of the other components are working properly, replace the main control board. Caution: the microwave oven can store thousands of volts of electricity in its high voltage capacitor, even after the microwave oven has been unplugged. Due to the potential for electric shock, it is extremely dangerous to replace the electronic components in a microwave. Only a licensed technician should replace the main control board. If the microwave overheats, the thermoprotector trips to cut off voltage to the microwave. To determine if the thermoprotector is at fault, use a multimeter to test it for continuity. If the thermoprotector does not have continuity, and it cannot be reset, replace it. Microwave light bulb not working. Before replacing the control, check the light bulbs, sockets, and wiring. If these parts seem to be working properly, test the control board with a multimeter to determine if it's sending the correct voltage to the light bulb socket. If the control board is not sending enough voltage to the light bulb socket, replace the control board. Before replacing the light socket, replace the light bulb. If you replace the light bulb, and the light still doesn't work, use a multimeter to test the light socket for continuity. If the light socket does not have continuity, replace it. The light bulb itself might be burned out. Replace the light bulb before replacing any of the parts associated with the light bulb. Microwave turntable not turning. The user control and display board might be defective. However, the turntable motor is much more likely to be at fault. First, test the incoming power to the turntable motor. If the motor is not getting power, the user control and display board may be defective. If the user control and display board is defective, replace it. The touchpad might be defective. However, the turntable motor is much more likely to be at fault. First, test the turntable motor. If the motor is not defective, it is possible that the touchpad is defective. To determine if the touchpad is defective, try pressing each of the buttons on the control panel. If some of the buttons respond correctly while others don't, replace the touchpad. Microwave buttons not working. To determine if the touchpad is defective, try pressing each of the buttons on the control panel. If some of the buttons respond correctly while others don't, replace the touchpad. To determine if the touchpad and control panel are defective, try pressing each of the buttons on the control panel. If some of the buttons respond correctly while others don't, replace the touchpad and control panel.